Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going through 7 healthy foods that are actually unhealthy. With the rise and growth of gym culture, people getting into fitness, health, wellness, people want to live longer, people want to feel better, there's a multitude of new products coming out that are prescribed for health benefits. A majority of these are full of shit. So that's why today I want to be exposing some of these products that people believe are healthy when in reality are actually really unhealthy. Starting with number 1, protein bars. So you might be thinking, what's so bad about a little protein bar? If I've not hit my protein for the day, I can just go and grab a nice little sweet treat that's not only going to taste nice, but it's going to nourish my body with the essential proteins needed to build some big biceps. The only issue is many of these protein bars are formulated pretty much exactly like a candy bar. So that's things like sugars, sugar alcohols, and artificial sweeteners. The biggest problem with most of these protein bars is that they don't actually contain the protein content that it states on the package. This is because the companies that make them do a little thing called amino spiking. Now this little trick the companies play is basically increasing the protein content without increasing the protein content. Basically the people that make the protein bars add cheaper products and free amino acids to the protein bars. Now how they measure the protein content in these bars is by measuring the nitrogen content within the bar. Now these manufacturers add inexpensive amino acids to the protein product, things like glycine, glutamine, and taurine. So because they add all this stuff in, it then increases the nitrogen level, which then means the reading at the end when they take the protein content is false, because these amino acids don't work the same way as, say, a whey protein, because they're incomplete protein molecules. So they're not actually going to be able to build any muscle for your body. So this is something to be aware of. If it says it contains a certain amount of protein, there's a good chance it doesn't. Check the ingredients, check for glycine, taurine, and glutamine, because then essentially what you're doing is just eating a candy bar that says it's got 20 grams of protein in, when really it has like 4 grams of protein in and a shit ton of amino acids that are going to do absolutely nothing for building any muscle, which is the exact reason why you would choose to eat a protein bar in the fucking first place. Scam. Avoid this shit at all costs. If you want some protein, eat some animal products, eat some fish, eat something that is actually real. This stuff is not good. This stuff is super processed and it doesn't contain what it actually says is on the label. At number 2, we have plant-based meat. So already people are misled to believe that red meat is bad for you. This is complete nonsense. This is probably one of the best whole foods you can put in your body. But let's say you're a vegetarian, for example, and you want to enjoy the family barbecue this weekend. So you go to the shops and you buy some of these healthy alternatives, meat-free alternatives. What could be the harm? It's just vegetables at the end of the day. Wrong! The thing is, most of these meat-free products contain a whole host of processed shit. Industrial isolates, textured proteins, emulsifiers, refined fats, refined sugars, added oils that include seed oils, sodium. The whole plant-based thing doesn't mean it's whole foods. It just means it's a load of shit crammed into a little bucket and then it's called a burger. Let's do a little experiment here. What do you think is going to be safer for you to eat? Here's a cow. I kill the cow. I now have a burger. Here's a plant-based burger. Here's some vegetables. Here's some oils. Here's some refined fats. Here's some chemicals. Here's a whole heating process. Here's a whole compression process. And we're going to put this down the factory line and we're going to end up with, a plant-based burger. Which out of these two seem like the most whole food and healthy option? Take your time, please. Dead cow, oil burger. So what's the big deal about eating this anyways? Well, it's an ultra-processed food product. So yes, it's going to cause inflammation, bloating. Your body's not going to be able to digest it or absorb half the nutrients of it in comparison to a standard burger. And all the seed oils and preservatives they put into it have been proven to cause damage to the body. This one's a super easy fix. If you're a vegetarian, you don't want to eat meat, that's absolutely fine. But don't replace it with this. Just eat a normal whole foods diet. This is going to be so much better for you and you're going to feel 10 times better. And I promise you, it's going to taste 10 times better. Number 3 is fruit juice. Josh, I thought fruit was healthy. What do you mean, fruit juice? Let me ask you a question. At any given point in time, have you ever ate 20 oranges in one sitting? Seriously? I didn't think so. Do you think God intended us to start our morning off by chugging the equivalent of 20 oranges in one sitting? No. You're basically getting all the fiber stripped out the fruit and just the pure sugar, and you just chugging that straight to the dome as soon as you wake up. That is insane. That is so much sugar. That is so many calories. That is so unbelievably bad for you. And you need that fiber in it because that's going to be the slow digestion. So you're not immediately spiking your blood sugar like that. Fruit juice may be labeled as some healthy alternative or just a health drink as a whole, but in reality, it's just concentrated sugar. If you want fruit, just eat a small amount of fruit. You don't have to drink 50 oranges in one go. Number 4, we have granola bars. This is just one of the biggest marketing scams in history. Natural, organic, healthy, trail mix bar, yum, organic. It's just sugar and nuts. That's literally all granola bars are. And it says, oh, these are great for snacking and stuff. But all this is going to do, through the day, you have a granola bar, you think, oh, this is healthy, this is good for me. Your blood sugar is going to go boom, and you're going to be hungry again in like 30, 40 minutes. And this is just going to increase your hunger long term. This is not going to be good. It could even cause diabetes. So avoid this shit. It's pretty much the same as a candy bar. It's just dressed up and wrapped in a different packaging so it looks like it's healthy, but in reality it is not. I promise you guys, avoid the granola bars. They're not going to be good for you. If you want some nuts and stuff, that's fine. Have a small handful of nuts. You don't need to be eating these dried fruit bars that are then held together with syrup and fructose and a load of shit. Avoid it. Number 5 is cereal. Now, I'm not talking about your Cocoa Pops or your Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think that's pretty clear to everyone that that shit is probably the most unhealthy stuff in the world. But there are many brands of cereal that are clearly branded as healthy alternatives or health foods. I mean, like, even look at Special K. All the adverts have got like this beautiful skinned woman eating it like, yum, with the little crunchy strawberries and stuff in. You're clearly led to believe that it's a healthy option because, I mean, look at the person that's eating it. She looks amazing. But just like all cereals, they're low in fiber, high in sugar, and high in ultra-processed carbs. I don't know how people convince themselves that cereal is something that you should start your day with. You are starting your day with a fat insulin spike. Cereal is just a dessert. That's all it is. If you want a healthy breakfast, if you want something that is somewhat sweet, have something like Greek yogurt, maybe with some honey, some nuts, some fresh fruit. This is going to be slower digestion. It's going to be healthier for you. And you're going to feel loads better. And you're not going to get a crazy insulin spike and dump first thing in the morning. Number 6, we have sports drinks. Now, a lot of people will think, oh, it's a sport drink. I'm doing sport. I need to drink my sport drink to be sporty and healthy. Now, just because it says sport drink doesn't mean that it's healthy. It means it's meant to be drunk by athletes who are performing like marathons and Ironmans and stuff because they need to quickly replenish the carbohydrates and glucose and sugar that they're burning off by pushing their body to the extreme. Now, I guarantee most people who are watching this, most people who go to the gym are not performing at that level at all, and you do not need this additional liquid calories in your body. I promise you don't need it. And along with that, these drinks are clearly full of sugar, full of artificial sweeteners and dyes. And then a lot of these drinks contain something called Red 40. Now, if you don't know what Red 40 is, it's a food coloring agent that is proven to cause DNA damage. Damage to your DNA. So the very substance that creates you as a person is getting damaged at a microscopic level as a result of drinking your big red drink. Not only that, you're going to get some inflammation and colon damage as well. And it's also linked to ADHD in young kids and hyperactivity. So if you're training, just avoid this stuff, just drink water. And if you need to replenish your electrolytes, there's plenty of other alternatives that aren't going to contain a load of dyes and a load of sugar. And finally, the last one, flavored yogurts. Now, I myself used to be quite the yogurt fanatic. I was all about them yogurts. Things like plain yogurt and Greek yogurt are relatively healthy products, and I would definitely recommend you include them as part of your diet. But if you're going for these fruit flavored yogurts or the little Muller corners, or you're going for one of the little chocolate Rolo ones, loads of sugar. This is not good for you. The thing is, most of these yogurts are labeled as healthy, nutritious, good, organic, and it's just full of sugar again, like everything else seems to be. And then just like the protein bars, you've got now protein flavored puddings and yogurts. Again, half this shit is just amino spiked. It's not real. It's not actually containing the protein content that it claims to. So unfortunately, it's another product full of sugar with a fake label that is saying that it's healthy. In reality, it couldn't be further from the truth. The thing with branding is they can say whatever they want. I could sell a bottle of water and label it to say vegan, cruelty-free, contains no research chemicals. It's just a bottle of water, but I can say that what it doesn't contain. So you can manipulate the audience of people who are buying the products quite easily with anything. Just like how you can get a Snickers bar and I could say, oh, this is a protein product because it's got a couple of peanuts in, when in reality it has like 4 grams of protein. And then if I wanted to, I could just spike with amino acids, put it up to 10 grams of protein, which in the grand scheme of things is the equivalent of half a tin of tuna. It's nothing. It's really a minimal amount, but most people read that and say, oh, protein, this is good for me. When in reality, it's just a chocolate bar covered in sugar filled with crap. It's gonna make you fat, it's gonna spike your insulin, it's gonna make you even more addicted to sugar, and it's not gonna do anything good for you other than bloat your stomach and make you feel not too good. So the fix is simple. Eat a whole foods diet. Avoid all of this stuff I've talked about today, and you will feel better, you will look better, and you will actually get to your fitness goals. Don't let these things hold you back. Learn and educate as much as you can about the foods that you're actually eating. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.